3 people have been killed and over 40 injured after a regional Russian airliner caught fire and exploded at an airport in the western Siberian city of Surgut. RT's Irina Golushka has the latest developments.
First of all, the incident happened around 1 p.m. Moscow time in Surgut. The plane was seconds away from takeoff. It was ready to take off for Moscow when one of the engines has caught fire. And what happened afterwards, actually, was panic and chaos on board. Among more than 100 passengers on board were members of one of Russia's most famous pop groups. And they have actually already spoken about what happened. They were eyewitnesses, of course. And they said that first, black smoke filled the cabin, sparks went flying everywhere. People, of course, started panicking, climbing literally over the heads of one another in order to get out of the passenger's cabin.
We were able to escape through only one exit, so everyone was crowding on the wing. There were stairs, but some fell down and limped away.
We are now having to write down our belongings that burned in the plane to claim compensation.
Authorities were, of course, very quick to evacuate the people. After the evacuation of the passengers was complete, one of the fuel tanks has exploded and the plane has burned down. Now, as I said, more than 100 people on board, at least 3 have been confirmed dead right now. Majority of hospitalized are suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning, but of course there also burns and all various sorts of other injuries. At least 4 people are in very serious condition, including a small child who is on life support right now, from we understand. A criminal investigation has been launched into the case. There have been several versions of events of what could have happened. One of the versions of what could have transpired in order for this horrific tragedy to happen on the first day of a new year is that something may have been caught into the engine of an airplane, but that is just one of the preliminary versions. Investigators are still working at the scene right now, trying to determine what exactly happened. Of course, there was also Tu-154, which was carrying Polish President Kaczynski on board. That plane crashed in April of last year, but we have to distinguish between various modifications of Tu-154. The plane that was carrying the Polish president was one of the newest models. It was manufactured in mass until 2006. It was taken out of mass production afterwards, but still some of those types of planes, Tu-154M, are still being produced. So the plane that the Polish president was on board was a relatively new plane. Now, this particular plane, which burned in Surgut earlier today, is one of the older versions. That was in production from 1975. It was at least 20-some years old. So obviously some technical difficulties could have been the cause of this incident.